Now, cancellation for famous franchises isn't uncommon. Every single one has had from canceling TV shows, from episodes of famous TV shows that were canceled or lost, from movies that were never made to video games that never got past the still never got past the drawing board, including comic books, whatever, including from comic books, TV shows to movies. Every single franchise has always had cancellation, from Batman to Superman to the Avengers to the Justice League to Star Wars to Star Trek to Garfield to Tom and Jerry. I think. I don't know. I don't know what we've done. But yeah. So, and that's even including my favorite franchise, Indiana Jones. And just like them all, Indiana Jones is no stranger to seeing cancelled projects. Especially running out the spot. Especially running out some of them have been planned. Some of them were generally cancelled for some reasons, and two of them in this video. Now we go over 3 indie projects that were cancelled. Which also, 2 of these will generally could be their own video. Especially one of them is a general full planned out movie, so yeah. And that's considering next indie projects, next Indiana Jones related media should I cover basically, and also might be making more indie war videos just because those are videos I make about the franchise. But yeah, and that's considering I won't be going over deleted scenes because can't plans, but again, especially running out the most accurate one included Batman meeting Indiana Jones. Yes, that one. Basically, it was going to be set place in the 1930s, and Indiana Jones would have to team up with Batman against the Mafia. Now, some people have liked this idea, which is weird to me because I like Batman and Indy, but they're 2 different things to me. Very much 2 different things. One's especially running out. I don't really see Indy teaming up with superheroes. But that's just my idea. I like Batman and I like Indy. But to be mine, I like Jurassic Park and Supernatural. I don't need a Jurassic Park and Supernatural crossover. I wouldn't like that. But this is just one I always saw as weird. This was supposed to be a comic book, but it wasn't. It was canceled in the thousands for mysterious causes. I don't know what would happen but yeah. And then let's go over to Indy 4, which randomly in every script had aliens. Now this one is the original attempt of Indiana Jones. The original plan for Indiana Jones 4, which would have been called Indiana Jones and the City of the Gods. And would have come out sometime and that's considering it was made in the early thousands, and a lot of people generally like the script over the one we got. Now, to me, it essentially has its problems. Serious problems? What? Does Indy need to meet aliens in every version? Just saying. And this was the original idea of Crystal Skull. But there was a few differences, and that's considering who made it was Frank Darabont, the same guy who made season 1 of The Walking Dead. And he was fired after that, and that's why season 2 is so different. I just wanted to say that. But he said it's been one of the greatest things he ever made, and also said that he genuinely felt didn't really feel pretty sad about when it was cancelled. And considering the City of Gods, whenever Indiana Jones killed the City of Gods and discovered aliens had been real. And the big difference, Mutt would not been in this. And another big one, Sean Connery Henry Jones Jr. is generally still alive. So yeah, that's considering that's considering in this one they'll all see some similarities, like Indy and Marion still ending up together, and aliens still being involved. Why? Because I don't know. Because it has to be involved. Every version of Indiana Jones 4 has to have aliens. But yeah, that's considering Frank Darabont generally has said about the script that it's one. I already said that's one of his favorite, greatest things he ever made, and it is generally better than what we actually got. Especially running out, he is a somewhat good idol. Now again, some indie fans have been trying to make this into a somewhat movie, but basically has the same name. Is that Will in the did they base that character all off of Will in the Fool? The one in the upper right? But this trailer came out like 2023, and it's been 2 years, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, and that's considering this indie project has been somewhat infamous in the indie fandom and just online spaces when it comes to video games. This was a cancel Indiana Jones video game, and it's been somewhat let's just say infamous, especially running out. It did came out, but the version that they actually wanted to make, it's a long story, and that's considering this project. This part of the video I could make an entire video and probably talk about what now it can be very different. And that's Indiana Jones and the Staff Kings, where Indiana Jones find the staff Moses. Wait, shouldn't it be Indiana Jones and the staff of points? Because yeah. But yeah, and that's considering the original. It was originally intended for the PlayStation 3, but didn't happen, and it went for the PS2. And then now these graphics are generally for the PS3 aren't pretty bad for what would have come out in 2009. But it was cancelled because for multiple reasons. Main reason why was just because Uncharted came out. It also had a pretty troubled development. Now again, I haven't played this game, but man, I've seen the graphics for what the PS2 version look like, and man, it doesn't look that great. And I'm not one who usually judges video games off of like when they came out graphics wise, because it was like a different time. But like for the PS3 version, it generally looks good, but for the PS2, doesn't. But yeah, that's considering there's been multiple probably cancelled indie projects that will probably never see the light of day from even now. I probably could go over all cancelled movies, a cancelled TV show, just because, just like every other franchise, indie has had cancelled projects, and you can't really stop that from happening, especially when now some people would probably like to see them, some probably not. There's none in this video that I generally wouldn't really want to miss. But yeah, see you next time, Adventurers.